Now, back in October of last year, you might have heard a little bit about a foiled terrorist attack on a train. Now, according to new unsealed court documents about this attempted attack, revealed that a man armed with a handgun and other weapons had attempted to derail a train. Now, the FBI claims that a Missouri man broke into a restricted area of the cross-country train back in October and decided to pull the emergency brake in an effort to derail it. Well, that's interesting, right? So he's armed and tried to derail a train likely filled with passengers, right? So how come we didn't hear anything about it? Well, we didn't hear much. Fox News did report it. At least they reported it earlier today. But, okay, I mean, didn't really hear anything from the president. I mean, he should be proud that his FBI, even though there is an investigation on him ongoing, led by the FBI, but they foiled a terrorist attack. Well, you would think that would be good news, right? I mean, despite any disagreements you might have with the FBI, you would at least want to say, hey, thanks to the brave men and women who helped foil this terrorist attack, right? And even if it isn't the FBI, even if you're not going to give them credit for any sort of intelligence, well, maybe you would give the Amtrak workers there who helped stop this potential attack from succeeding on this Amtrak, right? You would at least give credit, right? Anything like that? Anything? No. But as you can see, there's a reason that he didn't say anything about this. According to the criminal complaint, the train was jolted to a halt in rural Nebraska. An Amtrak staff restrained the man, identified as 26-year-old Taylor Michael Wilson, as he yelled phrases like, "I'm the conductor, bitch," and attempted to reach inside his waistband. Now, it doesn't sound like somebody who is all that well mentally, but hey, look, again, you could say that anybody who orchestrates or tries to orchestrate a terrorist attack is not all mentally there. I think that's, I guess, a catch-all. And maybe I should avoid using it. But so he stops this train, reaches into his waistband as he's being restrained, and he yells, "I'm the conductor, bitch!" And no, you're not. First of all, you're not the conductor. And second of all, I am surprised that he's not dead. Look, I don't know the policy of guns on Amtrak. I do know that passengers can now carry guns on Amtrak, so that's dangerous. But I don't know about staff, right? So maybe they're not even armed. But you want to know the reason, like I said, why he is not trumpeted as a case of domestic terrorism? Well, let's look at a picture. Oh, right. That would be why. He doesn't look Muslim to me. He looks quite white. Now, it actually gets worse. Not only is he, well, he's a neo-Nazi. So, I mean, there's no point dancing around that. He is a neo-Nazi. Vice explains that when authorities finally arrived at the scene and arrested Wilson, did not shoot him, by the way, they found a loaded .38 caliber handgun tucked into his pants. He was reaching for that waistband. And a nearby backpack containing more information, a knife, and a face mask, according to the Lincoln Journal-Star. Wilson was also carrying a business card for one of the largest active neo-Nazi groups in the country, the National Socialist Movement, which is not at all socialist, surprising, and had white supremacist materials and a series of individual PDF files, each with a skill related to killing people, on his phone. FBI agent, Special Agent Monte Zapleski, wrote in the affidavit. The described documents are possessed and utilized by individuals and groups attempting or planning to commit criminal acts or acts of terrorism or violence, she noted. So, he wanted to kill people, and it looked like he was preparing to do so. Now, when authorities searched Wilson's home, it got worse. They found a hidden compartment behind his refrigerator filled with weapons, ammo, handmade body armor, and white supremacist documents. An acquaintance who knew Wilson also told authorities that the 26-year-old had an expressed interest in killing black people and was a part of the recent neo-Nazi protests in Charlottesville, Virginia. And according to the dispatch, he has also been linked to 2 alleged hate crimes, a road rage incident in which he pointed a gun at a black woman while driving, and pasting whites-only stickers at a local St. Louis restaurant. Now do you understand why nobody in the Trump administration is saying anything about this? Imagine if it were a Muslim, right? Or a black person. Imagine if they tried to derail a train. Imagine if they pointed guns at white people while they were driving. Imagine if they put a sign, blacks only, on a restaurant. Or Muslims only. Can you imagine the outrage? And rightfully so. Because you shouldn't be putting that either. You shouldn't be putting whites only. You shouldn't be putting blacks only on things. But the outrage that you would be hearing from the Trump administration would be epic. The violent Muslims and blacks got to build a wall. Got to build a wall. Got to do more police enforcement. We got to give the cops more guns. We got to give them more leeway. But when it's a white supremacist, I mean, I don't hear anything. I don't hear anything. I don't hear anything. Look, it's the same thing with the guy that killed his girlfriend's parents in Virginia after they discovered that, again, he was a neo-Nazi. They had found tweets of this guy that supported Adolf Hitler, white nationalism, and that he had endorsed a novel about a race war. Did we hear condolences from the president on that? No. Is the Trump administration even attempting to tackle the growing white supremacist in America movement at all? No. No, they're not. I happen to believe that we should target all forms of terrorism and protect ourselves against it. That includes Islamic terrorism, which is dangerous, but not necessarily dangerous inside of America anymore. And I can argue that it never really was more dangerous in America than other forms of terrorism, which include white extreme right-wing terrorism. That's what we have here. That's what the white supremacist movement is about. Doing terrorism to African Americans and Latinos. And in this case, look, our president, our administration has emboldened white supremacists. And they don't push back against that because guess what? That is their base. They don't want to offend their biggest fans. That's why they're doing nothing about a threat that is actually far more dangerous in America than Islamic terrorism or any other form of terrorism. And look, the Trump administration, they're not doing anything about it. But to be fair, the Obama administration didn't do a lot about it either, despite numerous warnings we had. And you know why? Look, they had a task force that would look into right-wing domestic terrorism. Republicans and Fox News got outraged. How dare you look at Republicans? How dare you look at right-wingers? We are the most patriotic. We would never do anything like that. And the Obama administration, President Obama was like, oh, you're right, you're right. Let's pare down that task force. Let's leave one person in there to investigate right-wing terror. You're far more likely to be killed by one of these people who are in the right, the extreme right. Not saying that all Republicans are right-wing domestic terrorists. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I'm saying that when you are on the side, the extreme side, that uses rhetoric that dehumanizes African Americans and Latinos, Muslims, and anybody else who isn't white, and you're, and you're white supremacist, you got to look into these people. And you have to stop. And thankfully, the FBI and Amtrak, that's what they actually did. So thank goodness that at least this white supremacist is an idiot and he's too dumb to actually hurt anybody. But who knows if we can say that that about the next one. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.